speaking of health issues, you off air you were talking about you used to be a bodybuilder, right?
Yeah, in my younger day. Yep.
How old were you? How
I
old are you?
started when I was like 16, and I was competing at like 18.
What was the motivation behind it? Was there somebody that kind of pushed you to become it? Because like back in like the 70s, 80s, it was Arnold.
I was a fat kid,
Ah,
and I wanted to lose weight, and I was playing football in high school. And once I got introduced to the gym, it became an addiction. Started losing weight, started eating better. I remember the George Foreman grill back in the day.
Yeah.
yeah.
Making the chicken and making my mom spend all this money on food. And as soon as I started seeing the changes just by changing the food, because you're younger, your metabolism is different. You don't have to eat as healthy, but just eat better and work out. You start seeing muscles, you start seeing change. And I remember like my senior year, I was jacked. I was wearing like a tank top, I had all these muscles in my back. I was like, fuck, bro. Like, you know what I mean? This is some real shit.
Some real Jersey Shore shit, huh?
Jersey Shore, yeah. One of them guys is my friends.
Oh, is he?
JWoww's ex-husband, Roger.
Oh, nice.
Good friend of mine. I was just texting him yesterday. His birthday was yesterday.
Oh, nice. Happy birthday to him. So, but you went into a somewhat of a addiction as far as steroid use as
Yep.
well, right?
Yeah, so that's how I started. So like I used steroids at like 16, 17 as a cheat drug, because I was going to GNC, buying the creatine, buying all that bullshit, but I wasn't getting results. So I got introduced by some guy at the gym. He's like, hey, you take this shit, you know what I mean? You'll cut some weight off, you get big. And then it just became an addiction, and I was like, fuck, this shit's real. And I was just one thing after another, a little bit turned to a little bit more, just like everything else.
Does it actually make that big of, or does it allow you to or lift more? That's why you gain muscle, or actually
So
helps you gain
there's
muscle
all different
too.
types, right? There's steroids that can cut you, can bulk you, can give you, more strength, and it all depends how they're used. So the first thing I got introduced to was testosterone and Winstrol. Winstrol is a water-based steroid, and it helps you cut your weight. And that like literally took like 30 pounds off me fast. And then I got introduced to like DECA. DECA is like something where it's going to give you strength. We call it like the WD-40 for your joints. It helps your joints. It helps your muscles. And then there's other stuff like Equipoise. There's all different. There's hundreds of different types of steroids, and they all work differently, especially compounded together. So I literally used my body over like 15 years to just try all these different things. And what that did was it allowed me to never produce again because, the receptors and everything were like, oh, wait, this guy doesn't need it. He's got too much, blah, 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 blah. I was doing growth hormone, when I was younger and stuff. And now today I produce nothing. I'm on TRT from the doctor. And outside of that, years ago, I was having some issues. I didn't feel good. Started going to the cardiologist, and I realized that I have a leaky aortic valve. I realized that your heart's a muscle. I realized that my heart wall was a lot thinner than it was supposed to be. So it takes a lot more work for the blood to go through there. High blood pressure. All this crazy shit started happening. And I had a heart attack August 8th, 2022. I went into cardiac arrest. But by the time I got to the hospital, like things came down. I ate a bunch of aspirin, drank a big smart water. Stuff came down. My blood pressure was through the roof. And that was a pivotal point in my life. Like laying in that ambulance, looking at the ceiling, thinking like, man,
this could be it.
Where are my kids at? You know what I mean? Like, I need to see my kids, and texting my kids, like sending them a video, like, I love you guys. Like, this is it. Like, fuck, you got to do something. So it wasn't that I wasn't in shape, but I wasn't really like taking care of my body correctly. And I was already on TRT then, but I didn't realize all these things were happening from years before. So over the last 3 years, I really had to spend time with the heart doctor, get things right, get off the right drugs, be on the right drugs, to help everything. And that was also a pivotal point, like in my success, where I go, if I died, like my whole life wasn't really purpose driven. And that's where I started getting into the coaching a lot heavier. Like I have to use all the things I've learned, all the things that I've done to help other people be their best. And that'll be super gratifying to me to know that like, hey, Dan helped me. the day I'm gone, I help that person. I got them through whatever they had to do. So that was a big pivotal point in my life.